TANFL League Grand Final before a very big crowd here at North Hobart, and they're very vocal. Glenorchy winning the toss, kicking to the Argyle Street end. The colourful ball, it's bounced. Dutton getting it down. They're throwing themselves in. Webster there for Glenorchy. Ware in over the top. Pretty scrambly opening, which is understandable. Both sides a little nervous until they do settle down. And it's going to be important the side to settle down first. Ware coming out with the first kick of the match through a free. Down in towards Rewald. It's pushed away by the Glenorchy defence and Trippett. That's Chris Rewald. He was hard to recognise at first with that hairdo. Throwing themselves into it. The second free kick going Glenorchy's way, and Ware again. He picked up the first, he's got the second, and could bring up the first score of the match with the ball still dry. Have a look at that colourful ball being used. It was dropped out of the sky with one of the skydivers. As Ware, from the true centre-half forward position, kicks, stabs at it. It's good! It's the first goal on the board. Ware, the only fella to have a kick so far. He's had two from two free kicks, and he's posted the first goal. Great opening by the Roos.
Yes, and Ware playing on the forward line is one of the positional changes that differs from the lineup announced in the press. He's obviously on the forward line. You can see him manning up there with Collis. At full forward, we find Peter Rewald, who had been named on the bench. 2 minutes into the first quarter. Clarence lead by a goal, and Dutton trying to keep the momentum going with a huge punch. A fight for it on the wing position. Collis overran it. Down on the ground there is Smith. Away from the pack, though, stolen by Collis. He drives up over the half-forward line. It's a one-out duel there. Leary and Davidson. It went past them. A chance for Neville, scooping it backwards, looking for Mark Wright, but they'll all have to watch it cross the boundary line.
Both sides throwing themselves in.
You'd expect that. Here's the ball in from the pocket. Dutton making front position. Down looking for Neville. Stolen by Leary. Chipping in too is Mark Wright, but he's the player who again sees it across the line. Play being bottled up in this pocket in the opening minutes. Clarence getting the better of a torrid start with a goal on the board already. Piling up again, leaving the umpire with no choice. Now he's picking themselves up there are Rogers and Linton. Tap straight up in the air. No one could get advantage from that. Running around the boundary line. No, it's still in play. Leary knocks it forward. Looking for free there on the goal square, but with desperation coming through there. That was Farquhar.
Big game expected from this fella today too.
And he's showing the desperation needed of a backman in a grand final already. Diving with that one across the line. Dutton outnumbered, but still managed to get it away. Only into the arms of Linton, who took too long. He was grabbed. Players are piling up on him now. Another ball up in that forward pocket for Glenorchy. 3 minutes gone, Clarence still leading. The only goal in the match. The umpire choosing to throw up again because the ground is still a bit soft. We've had intermittent rain. Collis taking that one on the chest. And already we can see him drifting down from his half-back line and being responsible for many thrusts into attack. He drives this time up towards full forward. Carpenter was the target. In the middle of the pack, Shaw was there as well, but coming away is right. Grabbed too high, or did it take too long?
Too long.
It's going to big Rick Shaw.
Well, it looked a high tackle, didn't it, the way when we called it?
Well, Rick Shaw, the chance to line up from about 15 to 20 metres out, only on a slight angle. Wearing number 22 today, a different number for him. Usually number 45. Big Rick Shaw lining up now, point blank range. You shouldn't miss this. There's the kick on its way. The goal umpire doesn't have to move except to signal the goal.
2 goals on the board. One to Clarence, one to Glenorchy. Scores all level. 4 minutes into the first quarter. And Glenorchy winning the toss. Flip of the coin, and they elected to kick to the Argyle Street end. The end that the slight breeze here is favouring. Back to the centre bounce. Wright tagging Danny Ling. Goss and Dutton. Dutton wins it. Chance now for the Roos to go forward as it's driven down across their half-forward line. Greg Collis trying to drop back on it. Picked it up beautifully. Collis to Webster. Over his head. Right. Grabbed high, was he? No. Play on the call. Now the ball out over the boundary line and will be thrown in. Mark Wright looking for Linton. There's Dutton with a big hit down. That's Mannion driving it down. They come out to meet it. Rewalt can't trap it. He's tripped. Coming out with it is Lewis. Lewis snapping it back in towards goal. It's rolling into the pocket. Nunn. Oof. Little dangerous. Now it's taken out over the line. Michael Nunn not handling it there at all. A greasy ball, and it's forced out over the line for a throw-in. Goss and Chris Rewalt down to Clark. They wrestle. And umpire Muston will move in and throw the ball up. Rewalt wins it, grabs it, roved it himself, couldn't get a kick in though. Nunn, he couldn't get a kick in, now pushes it out for the running Bowden. Lewis and after him. Lewis takes it away from Bowden, and it's out over the line for another throw.
Two of the fastest players in the league there, Lewis and Bowden, racing for that one. Here's the ball in. From behind, taken out of the air by Dykes, but he had nowhere to go. Eventually across the ground to Linton. His hurried kick up towards half forward, and that one will go to Dutton. The big fellow showing that he can take marks with a wet or dry ball. It doesn't bother him at all. There's Dutton's kick. A long torpedo punt right up to the teeth of goal. They'll fly for it in the square, but that is Goss on the second grab.
Big fellas are doing well in the air.
Yes, they are. Perhaps a little surprising considering the conditions, although it hasn't rained for a while now. This is Lamont. Left half back, going short, up along the wing position to Webster. Passing the ball with perfect precision. Webster's kick to the hole, makes a liar of me because it's gone straight to Hibbard. Hibbard with a chance from the Ryde Street wing. Clears the pack. Waiting down behind was Mannion, but his handball was a poor one. Although he did recover to tackle Bowden there. Players piling up. The ball has been scooped away from the pack. Another chance for Bowden. There's the handball. Looking for Collis. Collis tries to kick off the ground. He's missed. Ware on top of the ball. Pushing it away from the pack. But only as far as an opponent who can only dribble it into that wing position. They'll have to fight for the loose ball now. This is Wright. Wasting no time kicking it further forward. Mannion hauled off the ball. That'll be holding the ball. Free kick Glenorchy's way.
Yes, Glenorchy a little fortunate to get out of that when Clarence were running. This is Grace with it. Grace driving it up in towards centre half forward. They fly, and a good strong mark taken up there by Dutton. Gee, if this fella can start doing well, they're on their way. Hibbard driving it down over the wing position. Chris Rewalt up. Down it comes. Collis kicking it off the ground. He's playing well. Little Danny Ling with it. Gives it over to the running Bowden. Bowden trying to screw it back in towards centre half forward. Davidson, it was too breezy for him. Noel Leary there wrestling for the ball with Eaton, and the whistle's gone, and we'll see a bounce. Ball will be thrown up. Dutton and Goss. Dutton winning it. Tried to get it down to Leary. They dive in on top of it again, and Leary coming out with a free kick. Noel Leary could be his last year as a player. We could see him back as a coach next year. Leary with a 15-metre penalty. Down onto the wing position. Chris Rewalt taps it on. They're running. Tyson picked it up nicely. Has a look. Brings it back round into centre half forward. Curley. They dive in on top of it. They're wrestling for it. Pretty desperate down there, the Roos. And that was Adams coming up off the bottom of the pack with it. Chris Rewalt, uncontested. Gives it straight to Curley. Curley puts one up in the air. No mark taken there. Collis can't get it out. His grab too high. And Collis with a free kick.
Collis from his half-back flank position. There are leads coming from the centre of the ground, and that's where Collis will send the ball. But it's all Clarence there, and Rogers has taken a good mark. Rogers right in the centre. A left foot kick, back up over the half-forward line. A player down in front of the pack. He must have tripped. The umpire didn't give a free. There's a snap up towards goal. That's Nick Clark, and
he's got it. Free kick.
The free kick will go towards Big Rewalt. He was the target of the snapshot from Nick Clark.
Well, he was sitting there for that mark, and I think the only thing Triffett could do was bowl him out of it, and I hope he got away with it, but he got caught.
Rewalt with a chance to kick Clarence's second goal. To put his side 6 points clear. And he's done just that. Big fellow starting to dominate at full forward. 2 goals, Clarence. 1 goal Glenorchy. A fast and furious opening, that's not surprising. Rewalt, what was surprising though, he did start at full forward and not as named on the bench.
Neither side getting a break yet. It's too early in the game, but Clarence looked as though they might have settled down a little better. Glenorchy, when they do run the ball, look good. But Clarence, if they can get Mannion, Ware, the Rewalts, Dutton, all firing, the little fellas will come into it, no risk about that. Carpenter not getting into the game yet, no opportunities as such. Ball being bounced in the centre. Dutton, but Goss wins it. They dive in on top of it. Lewis tried to kick it off the ground. That was really thrown out then. They got away with it, Glenorchy. Goss up in towards the forward zone. Leary out. And cop one. 15-metre penalty. Says, I'll remember that, but it wasn't Davidson that did it. As Leary kicks down onto the wing. They set themselves. To the back of the pack it comes. Who can get there first? Noy has a look. Bangs it down into the running Rewalt. Coming out with it now is Dykes. Robbie Dykes goes across ground to Webster, and he takes the mark. Michael Webster will get a penalty, 15-metre penalty. He goes straight on with play because has Linton on his own. Linton can't mark, recovers quickly, gets a kick in, was better after he kicked the ball. And
we let Tyson know all about that.
Yes, he did too, and he could have nearly have lost the kick there, but not to worry. Now, the ball up with Eaton, Philip Eaton, kicks long, Davidson the target, he got up, down it came to Danny Ling, couldn't control it off the top of that pack, and it's out over the boundary line for a throw-in.
12 minutes gone in the first quarter, just 1 goal separating the sides. Dutton again has won just about every tap. Goss, though, had nowhere to go. Off the ground from Ling, that's going to go close. Not close enough. Ling probably not realising that he might have had time to pick that one up and line up properly. 1 behind is the result.
A lot of pressure on out there at the moment.
Nick Free will do the kicking out for Clarence. Kicks to himself to allow the play on. He sent the ball now towards the outer side. Noy couldn't mark. Fighting for it on the ground. Noy trying to come away with it again, but still the scramble continues. And there'll be another ball up. Dutton winning it again easily, but he might have interfered with Goss on that occasion by sticking his leg out, and Goss will take the free. Goss playing in the ruck, not a role he's been accustomed to this season, although he did put in a good performance there last week. Up towards the pack there near full forward, no mark taken. Leary on ground level. Oh, only went as far as Davidson, but he couldn't control it either. Backing into the pack there was Farquhar. Players piling up on top of it now, though, for another ball up, only about 30 metres out, straight in front of Glenorchy's goal. Dutton again from in front, but stolen by Eaton. A hurried kick towards the pocket. They'll have to race for it. Gathered by Marsh, tries to hook it back, but Leary is there. He's very dependable. His kick now towards left half back. Has sailed out over on the full, I think.
Just touched.
Touched, just before it crossed the line.
No free kick.
Lamont thought it was his. Glaring at the boundary umpire there. But no, it's not yours, Scott. A ball in instead. Right half forward line for Glenorchy.
High tackle.
Yes, there'll be a free there for Chris Rogers. He's on quickly up towards the half forward line. Triffett from behind. Couldn't take it on the second grab. He's not going to let any of his opponents get away with it, though, as he grabs that ball with desperation and wins a free for his trouble.
Yes, he was grabbed high when they went down to the ground by Chris Rewalt.
Triffett from right half back. Sends the ball up towards the wing position now. Carpenter was the target, but Tyson got a couple of fists onto it, only as far as Grace. Grace, a hurried kick, stolen by Hibbard. Hibbard's kick is bouncing across the half-forward line. No one can pick it up. There's some interference going on there. And this could develop. Umpires are on the scene, though. And the free will go to Dykes.
Yes, Robbie Dykes now from the half-back line. Played a great game in the preliminary final. Lamont up. Noy out with it. Noy's kick high. Adams is down there. Up they fly. Dykes got up to punch it away. Webster, Nick Clark's down there. Collis and Clark. Clark pinched it. Couldn't get a kick in though. Lewis is down there too. As Bowden kicks it towards the boundary line and puts it out of play. Furious opening to the first quarter here in the grand final before a big crowd. Here's the throw-in. Chris Rewald up over the back. Dykes shoots a hand pass over to Bowden, in trouble. Throwing themselves in on it now is Nunn, scooped it off the ground. Now it's over to Rogers. Rogers down in towards the forward pocket. They're falling, finding that ball difficult to handle. Rogers in after it again. Clark tried to kick it through the pack, and the umpire says, I've had enough of this. And he's going to ball it up. Umpire Badenak throws it up. Chris Rewalder grabs it, can't get a kick in, straight into the pack. Collis did the same, but recovered quickly again to get it out of trouble. Puts it out on towards the flank. Noy has it, Conduct and Shepherd. Noy's around, no one to give it to, no one running past. As Noy drives down now into full forward. They fly, Rewald up, could have nearly got the free kick. Chris Rewald diving in on top of it. The whistle's gone and umpire Badenak in again. Well, Clarence may have been a little unlucky not to have got the free kick then. Ball back with umpire Badenak as he throws it up again. Goss and Rewald down to Adams. Adams has kicked it. Yes, Adams has put it through from the snap. Well played, and that could lift his confidence 100%. Clarence are 3 goals straight. Glenorchy 1-1-7.
Yes, and Clarence are going about it completely differently to when they lost in that second semi. In that match, Glenorchy were on top in the first and second quarters, and it was players like Adams, who you can see now just potting that last goal, who only rose to the occasion in that second half, when in fact the Roos did get up and win that match. But Adams starting it off well. His first goal, it's come at the 16-minute mark of the first quarter. The ball now is back in the centre. Dutton and Goss. Dutton wins it, looking for Rogers. He gathers the ball and recovers his footing nicely too. Rewald has to handball blind out to Clark. Clark on very quickly. Here's a chance. The running Lewis streaming down from the wing position up towards full forward. It was just out of the reach though of Peter Rewald.
And gee, they're getting that ball down quickly.
Showing some pace. A great tussle on the wing here between Lewis and Bowden. Curley to do the kicking out. Towards the outer side, it didn't bounce very nicely for Lamont. He's lost it now. Where was it grabbed or pushed?
Yeah. Could have gone either way, but I think the decision probably was right, the first one.
There's Strifford's kick up towards the right street wing. Big punch away was attempted there, but not successful, and Carpenter will get a long handball into Linton. Linton drives towards the centre of the ground. Sticking the arm out there was Brendan Smith, but a free has been awarded. It'll go Glenorchy's way into Grace. Grace from right in the centre. Up over half forward with the kick. Leary comes out to meet it. He couldn't take it on the second grab, but stolen off the pack by Hibbard. His kick is back up to the centre. Punched down to ground by Grace. Players are piling up again. The umpire letting things go this time. Clark trying to get the handball away from the pack. He can't do it. Players milling around the ball now just a little bit too much. This time the umpire's left with no choice. He throws the ball up. Dutton down to ground. So is Rogers with the ball. Scooped out to Grace. Had nowhere to go. In fact, went straight to Smith. Smith's kick, though, smothered. Collis away from the pack. A hurried kick forward. Player went down after kicking it. There'll be a free relayed up the ground for Glenorchy. It's been taken by Lamont, who wastes no time in playing on, but the kick's a shocker. Missed by a mile. Lamont.
Bad miss there by Glenorchy. Yes, they needed that one.
Was suffering from nerves, I think.
Oh, this could be going now.
There's Freed's kick out eventually after getting around an opponent. Towards the outer side, Suckling couldn't mark. A chance for Mannion. He elects to go off the ground. A poor decision because players all over the place now have a chance to come away, but it worked out well because Noy was there. Noy drives towards right half forward. Clark. Adams. The handball sets up Chris Rewald. He looks at goal. The ball is on its way, and that is through. The Rewald brothers showing their dominance across the forward line. And now Clarence with 4 goals, 4-1-25, edging away from Glenorchy in the early stages of this match, 1-2-8.
Gee, have they got their tails up now, the Roos? They've got to stop this onslaught, Glenorchy. They're letting them get away. And it's hard to see their half-forward line, Glenorchy, not coming into it at all. Now, back to the centre bounce. Dutton, but Shaw gets it out. Diving on top of it. Rogers. Whistle's gone, and we'll see another bounce. Sun coming out again. It's thrown up. Dutton, Shaw, pushed forward. Neville, relieving kick. Coming through his Dykes, has it. Look at him go through like a tank. Bursts his way through Robbie Dykes. Linton, marks, no, dropped it. Linton goes over the boundary line with the ball. And it'll be thrown in. I thought Linton might have thought he heard the whistle go then. But it certainly wasn't a mark. It would have been premature. Goss and Dutton. Carpenter up behind. Coming out now with it was Dutton again. Oh, and nearly taking the mark was Tony Triffitt. Look at them throwing themselves into it. And Ware coming out with a free kick. Michael Ware. He's had a few kicks in his first quarter. Kicks. Down onto the half-forward line. Pushed away. Wolf player grabbed high there. And a free kick going to Brendan Smith. Smith from the centre. No one down there for Clarence. Bounce, an awkward one for Shaw. Missed it. Rewalt with strength. Pushes it on over to Chris Rewalt. Chris Rewalt down in towards goal. That's offline though and brings up a behind. And so the Glenorchy defence under plenty of pressure at the moment. It's Roland Curley. Will kick out. Nunn leads. It's further than that to Lamont. Lamont marks. Lamont gives it straight over here to Webster. No, it'll have to go back. Lamont just feeling for that nose, which was broken last week too. Be watching that fairly closely, I should imagine. Wouldn't want another knock on it. There's Scott Lamont between the half-back line and wing. It's now just up over the wing position. It's towards the boundary line. It rolls over and it will be thrown in.
Light rain continuing to fall, but we are still bathed by sunshine as well. Shaw and Dutton down to ground, pushed further away from the pack. Chance for Rogers if he can gather it, but he can't. So it's crossed the line again, this time on the true wing position on the Institute side. There's the ball in, Shaw and Dutton again, but from behind there was some support. Eaton's hurried kick. Up towards centre half forward, Carpenter and Farquhar. Farquhar looks to kick off the ground out of that muddy area. It sets Lewis up nicely if he can pick up the ball. He's having trouble. He's lost his footing now. He's lost his chance as well. There'll be a ball up. This time wing position outer side. Down to ground, off the ground again is the kick. Plenty of that going on today. The ground is in heavy conditions despite the sunshine we have now. This is Linton shrugging off the tackle. He's lost the ball in the process though. Free is first on the scene, but he could only carry it across the line. Ball in this time very close to the Kazali stand. Dutton from behind this time. Down to ground was Linton. A chance for Eaton to steal the ball though. He drives up towards the pocket. A one-out drill there. It was Neville who came off the best. He drives up towards centre half back. They'll have to chase this one. Lamont, was he pushed? Well, that's what we might call a professional free. He set himself up for that. Left Tyson with no choice. There's Lamont's kick towards the half-forward line. It clears players waiting for it there. Rogers is on top of it. Players now are on top of him. Another ball up. 24 minutes gone in the first quarter.
Waiting now for the ball to be thrown up by umpire Muston. Down and go free kick there, and it will go to Brendan Smith. So, if you're playing in front, you're getting the free kicks. Smith in towards the centre. Tyson pushed away. Who can get to it? No one. It'll roll out over the boundary line for a throw-in. 24 minutes we've played into this first quarter. And Clarence away to a flying start to lead by 3 goals. Shaw has it. Gets it out now to Grace. Grace pushing it on in front of him. Here's the chance for Scotty Lamont. Screws it back in towards centre half forward. They come out to meet it. Hibbard grabbed. Lost it. None in towards goal. But the flying None off target this time and brings up one behind. Now Leary will settle things down a little. Leading out there is Tyson. Carpenter. Tyson. Nearly lost, has it? They're juggling it about a bit, not wanting to give it up. And umpire Mustin will move in and ball it up once more. We come up to the 25-minute mark. It shouldn't be a long quarter with a total of only 4 goals kicked. Dutton, Ling, bowled over by Clark. Clark in on top of him. None, pushing it out now to Bowden. Couldn't control it. Pack forming again. And another baller. Here's the ball thrown up. Shaw and Dutton. Shaw up early. Clark tried to go through. They're wrestling for it again. Wallace in there for Glenorchy. He's the last one up. And another ball up to take place. Pretty scrambly closing stages of this quarter. Dutton getting it down. Right. A lot of wrestling going on there as Lewis gets a kick in. Adams. Curley. Clark goes through strongly. Has the free kick. Nick Clark is a player that Clarence will want to fire, and he should revel in these conditions. Should be a real mudlark. So Nick Clark, the outer side of the ground on the wing position, just waiting for the ball to go back to him. And Clarence will want to deliver this ball down quickly because a goal would be very handy. Oh, let's put Noy under pressure. Has it? Gets his kick in. Well played, Noy. Down in towards full forward. To the back of the packet goes. Who can get there? Chris Rewald tried to kick it off the ground. Dives in after it now. Curley's in after him. Rewald on hands and knees, crawling along the ground. Linton couldn't come out with it. It screwed round there, but by Mannion. He couldn't do much with it. Brett Mannion, as the whistle's gone again, and we'll see another ball up. Glenorchy have got to stop this goal. They can't allow any more. Shaw, big hit out. But that's to Nick Clark, the dangerous Clark in towards goal. They fly off hands. It comes Adams. Couldn't get to it. It was touched through. Adams threw himself at it. Well, if that ball hadn't have carried quite so far, Adams would have got to it, but it's through for a behind, and the difference now 3 straight goals. Shaw in the back pocket. They're slowing down play, Glenorchy. Must be wanting quarter time to come up. And the mark taken out there, and a big mark taken by Dutton. Robert Dutton kicks in towards centre-half forward. Who can get to it first? Danny Ling kicking it off the ground. Here's a race for the ball. Coming through, it's Nick Freeze, caught. Got rid of it though. Stephen Grace, he's caught. All yelling the crowd there, letting it go on a bit. Wright copped one in the head coming out of that pack. And the whistle's gone for another ball up with the quarter-time siren not far away.
Yes, we're a couple of minutes into time on. Clarence have opened up in explosive style. They're 3 goals clear. There's the big fist away. Chance for Clark to go forward. Got the handball across, but it was a poor one. Looking for Noy. It didn't find that player. Found Bowden instead. Bowden drives up towards the half-forward line. Leary missed it. Another chance to clear will be taken, and the Clarence defence is still standing up to the pressure very well. So at the 28-minute mark, there's still a 3-goal break to the Roos. The Clarence defenders have only let 1 goal through. A great performance. Eaton tried to come away from the pack, grabbed by 2 players, couldn't go anywhere as the quarter-time siren sounds, and we see that Clarence holding on to their lead. 4-3-27. Glenorchy 3 goals down. 1-3-9.
Start of the second quarter with Glenorchy trailing Clarence by 18 points. Good start by the Roos from the bounce. Goss wins it, a big hit out too. Not to anyone in particular. There's a push. Play on. And we'll see a ball up. Ball thrown up. Dutton, Goss, no one winning it decisively. None wrestling with Clark as it's scooped out. But Glenorchy come out with it again as it's driven down towards Carpenter. The bounce an awkward one. Free coming out with it. Drives it up on towards the wing position, looking for the boundary line and finds it. No Clarence player there. And so it was Nick Free streaming up ground, putting it out of play. Goss and Dutton. Dutton wins it, gives it over to Rogers. They're scrambling for it now as Linton kicks it off the ground. Linton goes down, close to the boundary line again. Look at them wrestle for it there. As Hibbard, he took it over the boundary line though, trying to get away from Marsh. And the ball to be thrown in. Dutton and Goss. Dutton wins it. Noy can't get through the pack. Lewis, his kick goes really the wrong way. Driving in on it is Farquhar. It's pushed out by Lamont. This is opened up play. Carpenter scoops it over to Nunn. Nunn dropped it. A lot of pressure on there. Carpenter scoops it back again. He's doing the heavy work, Chris Carpenter. Grace, a short kick in. This is Ling. Danny Ling caught. Gives it over to Free. Now the Roos can run. Free up in towards Adams and he marks. Scotty Adams should get a penalty. Ooh, nearly had a roughback rider there. As Adams now drives it up in towards centre half forward. Chris Rewalt pushed down in front of the pack. They dive in on it. Mannion getting it out. Rogers up in towards the forward pocket. Curley dropping back on it and will see it through safely for a behind. Quite happy to concede the point, making sure Clarence don't score a goal.
And Curley will do the kicking out. Towards the Institute side he comes. No mark taken. Goss was the target. Stolen by Lewis. Hooks one back up towards the full forward area, but it's all Glenorchy there. Bowden will come away with it onto Suckling. Suckling shows some pace as he drives up towards the wing and to Carpenter. Carpenter in front of Farquhar on that occasion. He drives towards centre half forward. No mark taken there. Chance for Hibbard to come out of defence. Oh, Goss almost controlled a one-handed mark. Now he pushes the ball away behind him, but it's all Clarence there. A chance for Rewalt if he can control the ball, but he can't. Rewalt, as you can see, sporting a brand new two-tone hairstyle. Here's the ball up, wing position. Dutton was the only one there to fly for it. He got a big fist down, but only as far as Dykes. Dykes couldn't control it. Bowden could. Webster is the player kicking towards the wing position. High leap there from Hibbard, no mark. Off the ground from Lamont in towards the centre. A chance for Nunn. He's around. There's the handball on to Grace. Collis having some trouble. He's lost his footing now, but he'll get a free for being tripped. Collis, centre of the ground, will have 15 metres to take him over the centre position. It's 30 metres now, in fact, as Collis jogs up to his new mark. Drives up towards full forward. Players flying too soon. Leary in front of the pack, juggling it. Down to Clark. He gets the clearing kick up towards centre half back. A chance for Rogers from behind, but he was interfered with there, possibly by his own teammate. Hibbard drives up towards the centre. It's a vacant wing. A chance for Webster, but he was well tackled beautifully. And Noy is first to recover. He's around an opponent, around two opponents in fact. The kick is now up towards right half forward. Big pack of players there. Ware was in the centre, he couldn't mark. Rewalt can't come away. Yes, he can now. Rewalt has all the time in the world. Over to Ware. Ware running around the boundary line, lines up the goal. He's kicked it, and he has kicked it. It's his second goal. Clarence are continuing their good performance from the first quarter. They're looking the goods right now, and the supporters love it.
Well, it's a complete turnaround from the second semi-final. It was Glenorchy on top in the first half, with Clarence coming back and winning it in the second half. Now, in the first half, it's Clarence on top, then can Glenorchy come back in the second half?
And it's the big men who are running, Peter. That's the big difference.
Oh, they're tackling so well. They were so desperate down here in the wing position. Here's the bounce. No one winning it decisively. Rogers coming out with it. Up on towards the half-forward line. Triffett. Nearly flattened. They went into him pretty solidly. Dykesy not happy with that. Triffett still down on the ground. Pop one around the neck. And Robbie Dykes will take the free kick. Triffett has not moved. There's the short one to Collis, and Collis marks. Collis, right in the centre. Looks like Mulcahy on the ground. Yes, Richard Mulcahy on the ground. Tony Triffett still hasn't moved. Carpenter. Marks. No, play on the call. As coming out with it is Farquhar. Farquhar puts it over to Hibbard, and Hibbard marks. That's Tony Triffett. Well, good to see Bumpy up on his feet.
He didn't move there for about a minute, though, Peter. He was unconscious.
Here's the ball up towards Chris Rewalt and Dykes. Dykes coming back on it, Mannion. Chris Rewalt wrestling with Robbie Dykes. Dykes a desperate player for Glenorchy. Ball thrown up. Just re-rolled. No one winning it decisively. Looks like Mulcahy on. Adams maybe off for Clarence. At any rate, the ball back to that half-forward line. Set themselves. Down it comes. Pack again. Linton is grabbed straight away. No chance of getting rid of that. And it will see a ball up. Tony Triffett directing traffic there. The ball's thrown up. Chris Rewalt. Mannion. Ball held to him. No, holding the ball. Bit tough on him. Bit tough. But still. Collis to Linton. They're trying to open up and run Glenorchy. Linton. Down on towards the wing. Grace. Marks. Grace. Making sure he won't play on a Smith. Grace gives it back over. Oh, that was bad play to Neville. Neville gives it over here to Rewalt. He's caught. Has to quickly get a hand pass in. Grace in again after it. Grace gives it back over here to Shaw. Lewis bumped out of it. They're throwing themselves in now. Nick Clark into the pack. And I think we'll see another ball up. We will.
Some very heavy body work being used by both sides. And both sides certainly have the men with the muscle power to do just that. From the ball up, the ruckmen nullified each other. They're fighting for it on the ground. And there's going to be a free going Clarence's way, in fact, into Neville. This is Timmy Neville on the right street wing. Centres the ball towards half forward. It cleared a few players there. Bowden will come away from the pack with it. He goes short back towards that right street wing. Mark's been taken by Marsh. Plays on quickly. Puts Grace in a lot of bother. But Clark put him down. Now, the umpire has whistled it up. He said that Marsh, in fact, does have to take it, the free, or the mark, I should say, that was awarded to him earlier. This is Triffett now. His kick bouncing along that wing position. Some weight being used and a chance for Clarence to come away again. There's the kick up towards the centre of the ground. It was missed there by Wright. Still fighting for it in that centre area. Players are piling up again, and some fist being used in there. The player on the receiving end of that was Danny Ling, but he's okay. Nick Free just getting a little bit carried away. There's the ball up, half-back position. Knocked away in the area of Farquhar, who's on top of the ball now, getting a hurried handball away from the pack. A chance for Mannion. He's controlled it. The kick is on its way up towards left half forward, and the mark's been taken. A good lead, strong mark. That's Ware. Michael Ware with 2 goals to his credit. 1 in the first, 1 in the second. Sends a long kick down towards the full forward area. Rewalt couldn't mark it. Mulcahy, his first touch for the match. He's ridden it to the ground.
Bit stiff. Come on, give him a chance.
Danny Ling goes short towards half back, but Hibbert is there. Hibbert, just behind the half forward position, goes short. The lead is on into the pocket. The mark there has been, well, the free's been paid to Noy.
Free kick.
And Noy is within scoring range with a chance to put Clarence's 6th goal on the board.
Yes,
he hasn't.
I don't think Bowden really had any intention of going for the ball. It was just to upset Noy, so the free kick should have been paid.
Noy's lining up from about 40 metres out on a 45-degree angle. That one doesn't have the distance. They'll fight for it in the square. The ball close to the line now is across the line. Ball in very close to Clarence's goal. Shaw from in front. Clark couldn't control it. Back into the pack it goes as they wrestle for it in the mud. The whistle has sounded. Another ball up. This is straight in front of goal, only about 15 metres out. Punched down in towards the teeth of goal, but Curley was there. Out now to Dykes, running clear from the pocket. His clearing kick up towards right half back. Eaton couldn't mark. Off hands. The ball now is with Wright. He's grabbed very quickly by Ling. It's a loose ball, wing position, gathered by Lamont. Oh, he's well tackled. Held the ball a long time.
Grabbed by the ankle. Yes, he was. He was grabbed by the ankle, impeded, and that's the reason the free kick going back. Lamont driving it down over that wing position. Free up. Davidson kicks it off the ground. Danny Ling. They're wrestling for it now. They've got Ling. They've got him cornered. And the umpire will move in and ball it up. Umpire Badenack throws it up. Dutton. No one can pick it up. Marsh throwing himself on top of the ball and coming out with a free kick. Greg Marsh goes straight on the play, shoots a hand pass out here to Linton. Linton fires away in towards goal. Carpenter's down there, they fly. Off hands it comes. Oh, and it's Farquhar getting it out now, looking for Tyson. Has help as it's turned back now by Mannion. In towards centre half forward. Eaton over to Danny Ling. Ling will fire away in towards goal. That looks good. He's kicked it. Danny Ling has put the first goal on the board to Glenorchy for the quarter. And it was one the Magpies needed to get their way back into this game. 5-4-33 Clarence, Glenorchy 2-3-15.
And isn't this an unusual sight, Peter, with Glenorchy only 2 goals on the board, 10 minutes.
Gary Davidson coming towards the bench. Now what's he doing? He may be coming off the ground. He is. Davidson is off. Billy Dunn on. Davidson, no doubt, wants to do a bit of work from the bench, I feel. Dutton wins it. Linton pushing the back. And Gary Linton coming out with a free kick. Gives the hand pass over here to Dykes. Dykes through the centre, off the side of the boot. They come out to meet it. Carpenter. Noy. Ooh, he's grabbed by Dunn. Look at Billy Dunn throw himself into the fray. He may be the player they need, Glenorchy. Put a bit of fire into their play. Ball thrown up. Dutton wins it. Carpenter. This is Leary. No one up here for Clarence on the wing position. The ball wouldn't bounce up. Linton comes out with it. Bangs it back down to where the pack is. Goss got up too early. Tyson. Neville. Gets his kick in now. Linton will mark. Gary Linton trying to lift the Magpies. Over now to Bowden. Bowden drives it down in towards centre half forward. No mark taken. Kicked off the ground by Dutton. None. Pushed on by Mannion. Clark. Oh, he's put Chris Rewald under pressure. And the whistle's gone. And we're going to see a ball up right in the centre. Neither side being able to get the break in the second quarter. Clarence would have liked to have added to their score, seeing that they're kicking to what should be the scoring end. Shaw wins it. Eaton waited for it, gave it to Marsh. Marsh over to Collis. Collis is streaming down goalwards. This should be a Glenorchy mark. No, it was wide of Goss, and it'll beat him out over the boundary line for a throw-in. Ball between the half-forward flank, forward pocket, the Magpies into attack. And temporarily they've stopped this Clarence run on. Down it comes. Carpenter tried to get it out to Marsh. It's scooped out now. Billy Dunn throws himself at the ball with Leary. Rogers. Rogers has it now. He's clear. Drives it up on towards the wing position. They set themselves. Rewald up. Coming out with it well and taking it away as Suckling. Down into that forward pocket again. But they're wasting opportunities now, the Magpies, as it's out over the line for a throw-in.
13 minutes we are now into the second term. Shaw and Dutton. Dutton from in front. A big tap down to Rogers. He drives up towards the wing position. Triffett. Oh, nicely taken mark. Very graceful.
Back his judgment nicely.
On to Bowden very quickly. Doesn't know where to go. Now drives up towards the half-forward area. No one could mark there. Pushed away from the pack. Pushed further into the path of Lamont. He got a hurried handball looking for Linton, but it went straight past him and to Farquhar. Farquhar goes wide, looking for Neville and finds that player. He can run. Show some pace. Neville drives up towards the wing. Nunn couldn't mark, but he's in front of Mulcahy. Mulcahy's grabbed him. Was it too high?
Free kick.
Yes, it's Nunn's free. Right in front of the Wright Street stand. Oh, he's kicked right into the man on the mark, has he? And the ball has gone out of bounds. So there'll be a ball in now on the Wright Street wing. As the Magpies have missed a very promising looking chance to go forward. This is Rewalt from in front. Down nicely, but not successfully. Here's Clark. Was he tripped? He got the ball on anyway. Noy drives up towards half forward. A one-out duel there in the mud. They're stumbling, can't hold their footing. Curley leading in the chase towards the boundary line. And with hot pursuit from Rewalt, they've seen the ball across the line.
He's reliable, Roland Curley. Very cool then, backed his judgment. kept his footing. Ball about to be thrown in. And Mulcahy off, Adams on for the Roos. Here's the ball out now. Coming over to Rogers. Rogers screwing it back round in towards goal. It's coming round, not far enough, and through for another behind. So there's been nothing in this quarter. Both sides kicking a goal apiece. There's the short one, out to Shaw. Shaw's kick to Eaton. Eaton is clear, gets his kick in now as he bangs it down onto the half-forward line. Carpenter, they dive in on it. Tyson throwing himself in. That's Farquhar. Farquhar, the hand pass didn't go anywhere. Coming out with it now is Neville. Neville over to Hibbard. Hibbard drives it up onto the half-forward line. Oof! Tony Triffett, not paid. That's Dutton. Dutton bursts his way through, drives it up in towards Rewalt, but it'll be wide of that player and out on the full.
The free again to be taken by Curley. Played a very honest game of fullback. This week he's played that position after being given the job on the ball last week, which was also very successful. 15 metres being given away.
Wallace.
Yes, Wallace on from the interchange bench, driving up towards the right street wing. Punched away from the pack into the area of Mannion. He had trouble controlling it. They're still battling on ground level for it, and the umpire will ball up. No, there's a free. It's going Glenorchy's way, and Grace moving it on quickly to Collis. Collis towards right half forward, or from the side of the pack. The big fist away came from Farquhar. Now they'll have to race for it. Eaton is the first on the scene. Drives up towards the pocket. Linton in front of Tyson. A strong mark. Gary Linton hasn't kicked a goal in this quarter. He's been picking up kicks all over the ground, though. We've heard a lot of comment in recent time about his kicking style and the success or otherwise of it. This is always the acid test. Shooting for goal from set shots. A very important one. Glenorchy going for their third goal. There's Linton's kick on its way. His reaction tells you there's nothing wrong with that. So Glenorchy have posted their third goal. It's their second for this quarter. The scoreline now reads 5-5 Clarence, Glenorchy 3-3.
Yes, they're getting closer. Well, they're not 211 points, they're 21. That would be a big lead, wouldn't it? But anyway, they're outscoring Clarence this quarter, so they're coming back. And that's what their supporters will want to see. Most barracking here today for Clarence. We've certainly got the support of the crowd from the bounce. Dutton coming out as Nick Clark. Tries to go through, grabbed Linton high. Rogers in on top. Rogers comes out with it, well played. Chris Rewalt has to get rid of it quickly. Gives it over here. There's the hand pass from Mannion. Went straight over. It looked like it's into the forward pocket. It's paid. Yes, it's paid to Rewalt. Peter Rewalt. He'll be on a pretty acute angle, but it's an important kick because Clarence need to get that goal back and hold on to this lead. Peter Rewalt kicks. That's close. Offline. Was close, but not close enough. 1 point. So the ball going back to Curley, who'll play on. Round he goes. Down now onto the flank, past the flank. They fly, no mark. Grace gives it over to Triffett. Triffett bumped off balance, comes back again, shoots the hand pass out here to Dykes. Now Glenorchy are running. Dykes down on towards the half-forward line. Leary out to meet it. Dunn throwing himself on it. Leary scoops it out. Hibbard, he's met solidly. Clark. This will let Linton in to Carpenter. Carpenter's running into an open goal. Fires from the long way out and puts it through. No. Thought he did. So did some of the crowd. But it wasn't to be. Yes, Carpenter could have even got closer, but didn't want to take the risk of bouncing the ball. And I don't blame him for that, because free kicks. Shaw in front. Lewis. Oof. Whoa, where's he gone with it? Back into open territory. Leary, he'll quickly get his kick in. Lamont takes the diving mark. Scotty Lamont from the centre to drive the Magpies into attack. And Glenorchy have certainly picked up their game this quarter. Whoa, Linton, Gary Linton. Yes, Noit appealing for it, but no, it was Gary Linton's mark. Linton, short one, and that finds Michael Bowden with a penalty. Bowden can kick the ball a long way. He's right at centre half forward. There's the short one. They're not minding their men now, Clarence. Bad play, and that allows Rick Shaw in. So Shaw now from 40 metres out will make the distance. And this could make the difference 8 points. Shaw, all eyes on him as he moves in. Kicks. The goal umpire's moved across. He's kicked it. So the difference now back to 8 points with that goal off the boot of Rick Shaw. And that's his second goal for the match. There's the scoreboard, 5-6-36. Glenorchy 4-4-28.
And the big fellow really showing his value. He puts in a very dependable performance in the ruck, but he also has this ability to chip in with goals. He was, you'll remember, from the first quarter, the player who kicked Glenorchy's first goal. Back in the centre now, where Shaw will do battle in the ruck against Dutton. Dutton perhaps beating on that occasion. There's the kick screwed forward by Lewis, bouncing across the half-forward line. Players losing their footing in the mud. There's Adams' hurried kick up towards full forward. Some pushing and shoving going on there. Rewalt trying to play it forward. Players piling up. Rewalt is the one on top of the pack there. And the ball will be thrown up about 15 metres straight in front of Clarence's goal. Rewalt from behind. This is Peter Rewalt. Adams overran it. A hurried kick away from the pack. Covers virtually no distance. Again, players swarming on the ball. And another ball up. 21.5 minutes gone in this second term. The Roos still hanging on to their lead with desperation. And it's not surprising that at this stage we see some scramble creeping into the game. A few players out there look as if they're good and ready for a long break at half-time to recover their energy. This is Wallace, the interchange player. Drives towards the centre of the ground. Tyson couldn't complete the mark on the second grab. Pushed away from the pack there. Looked to be eaten. It gave a chance for Lamont to run, but he's handballed straight to an opponent. That's Free. Free shrugs off a tackle and kicks up towards right half forward. Punched away from the pack. A chance for Clark. He's got the handball onto Noy. Noy has a look at goal. Drives up towards full forward. A one-out duel. Can Rewalt mark on the second grab? No, not this time, as he did battle there with Goss. And some pushing and shoving going on there in front of goal. The umpires are very quickly on the scene. It's possibly the first occasion we've seen in this quarter that could have developed into anything like a brawl, but it was well controlled. The ball now is at the half-back line, where Rick Shaw looks to have completed a mark on the second grab, as well as getting a good grip there on Nick Clark. Wallace towards the wing, straight to an opponent again. Some poor kicking. This is Lewis. David Lewis wants to drive deep into attack. He sends the ball across the half-forward line. No one flew for the mark. Everyone went for the fist. It's knocked away now into the arms of Chris Rogers, a very dangerous player when snapping for goal. He's put this one right up into the goal square.
Going Glenorchy's way, I think. Free kick to Glenorchy.
Yes, the whistle had sounded as players were fighting for it there right on the goal line. Goss is the player to take the free.
Goss now, and the crowd really come to life. Out to the half-back line. Collis couldn't mark. He'll recover, though. Grab, lost the ball. Crowd yell holding the ball. Out to Triffett. Triffett gives it over now to Wallace. Wallace driving it down on towards the wing position. But the whistle gone. What happened there? No, it's Lamont with it. But anyway, Lamont driving it down across his half-forward line. Curley down on the forward line to give it some bite now. Curley gives it over here to Grace. Stephen Grace, the long hand pass over. Coming out to meet it was Nick Free. That's Nick Clark scooping it out. Leary falls, scoops it over to Hibbert. Hibbert gets a relieving kick up in towards the centre now. Up there is Shaw, couldn't take the mark. Rogers, he's clear now. Rogers will drive Glenorchy into attack. Up to Dutton. No mark. Off it comes to Goss. Goss driving it down now on towards the centre or the wing position. Lewis. Lewis shoots it back to Neville. No, it's coming through as Mark Wright. Mark Wright, oh, it's missed by Rewalt. Bad miss. Shaw gets it out to Wallace. Wallace's kick is high up into the air. Billy Dunn up high. Didn't mark though. Look at them throwing themselves in. Hibbert there scooping the ball out. Leary gets his kick in with strength. Doesn't cover any distance. Gary Linton going through. Linton has it now. He's round. He's clear. He's well shepherded. Linton, time to steady. Puts the ball down on towards the half-forward line. Roland Curley in towards goal. Carpenter will mark. And it's Glenorchy are playing over the top of Clarence at the moment. They are playing the better football. And now Chris Carpenter moves in, kicks, he's gone across goal, he's missed. So a let off there for the Roos with Chris Carpenter missing as we come up to the 25-minute mark, and the difference 7 points in favour of Clarence. As Nick Free waits for the ball to come back. And Clarence really have let Glenorchy get a little on top in the second quarter and dictate terms, although they still lead by 8 points. Nick Free having a look. Free drives out towards Rewald. That's Stephen Grace. Rewald in after him, grabbing Grace, pulling him back off the ball. They're wrestling for it. And what's the decision? The decision, it's going Glenorchy's way, and a little Grace. He goes straight on with play. Well, the Glenorchy backs lacks there again. The Clarence backs lacks there again. Carpenter the target, off hands it comes, and it's forced through for a behind. So the Clarence defence being given plenty of work at the moment. Glenorchy are peppering the goals. There's the kick out from Free. Onto the half-back line. No mark. Noy will recover. Well played, Russell Noy. Up onto the wing. It'll bounce. No one there. Out they come to meet it. Webster. Through he goes Clark. Drives it down now. Linton. It's pushed down by Eaton. As the siren goes to signal half-time in the grand final at North Hobart. And we go into half-time with Clarence holding on to a 7-point lead. The Roos 5-7-37, Glenorchy 4-6-30. Start of the third quarter at North Hobart with Clarence leading by 7 points, still anybody's game. Shaw and Chris Rewald. Rewald wins it, big hit out, nearly down in towards centre half forward. Mulcahy couldn't get back to the ball. They're wrestling for it, Clarence one another now. Coming out with it was Mannion. Brett Mannion, whistle's gone, and the free kick will probably go against Mannion, laying in over the ball. So Glenorchy through Suckling. Carpenter, he's the first to recover. Grabbed by Farquhar, shoots the hand pass out here. It's Michael Bowden putting it up in towards full forward. Coming out with it is Hibbert. Hibbert driving it back down towards Clark, and Clark marks. Hasn't really hit his straps yet, Nick Clark. They need a big second half from this fellow. There's the kick from Clark into centre half forward. Dutton marks. Dutton gives it straight over here to where it's driven down now in towards the centre half forward zone. Off hands it comes. Lewis couldn't take the ball out. Smith there battling for it. Now Lewis. Grab. Suckling. Grace. Grace has it. Grace gets it out. Tries to give it over to Rick Shaw. He's a little slow. Help from goal. Well played, Stephen Grace. Over to Robbie Dykes. Oh, and Goss was met solidly. That's Linton Ling getting it out now to the running Bowden again. Bowden up in towards Linton. Off hands it comes. Billy Dunn. Well played, Billy Dunn. Gets it out to where it's snapped in towards goal by Wallace, Peter Wallace. And that's well offline and out of bounds. Waiting for the throw-in. Well, Glenorchy will want to score that first goal. Clarence will want to increase their lead. Again, it's hit towards the boundary line and finds it for a throw-in. To the right-hand side of the Gazali stand, the Magpies into attack. Carpenter, far up over the back. It was missed by Tyson. Pushed forward in towards goal. And it's Noel Leary seeing it safely through for a behind. So the difference now one straight kick in favour of Glenorchy as Nick Free will put the ball back into play. Free goes the outer side. Noy couldn't mark. Got 3 to beat. Scoops the ball out. It'll be kicked off the ground, it is. Down on towards the wing position. A Clarence player down there too as Webster comes out with it. He kicks in towards centre half forward. They fly. Wallace couldn't take the mark. That's Chris Rewald with it. Kick back in towards the centre. They're fumbling a lot. Mannion. Oh, and grab there without the ball was Rogers. Play on the ball, Collis. Noy. And uses his strength to get through Russell Noy. Back over onto the wing position. No mark. Lewis. Will he get the free kick? Laid in over the top of him, yes. And the Clarence supporters cheer because they feel it's the first free kick they've seen for a while. David Lewis down in towards centre half forward, not well placed, and Nunn takes the mark for Glenorchy. Michael Nunn gives it over here to Gary Linton, grabbed by the foot, playing will be the call. Linton now gets his kick in, up onto the wing position. This is Curley. Curley has it. There it is over to Lamont. Scotty Lamont can steady. Drives it up in towards centre half forward, and it's a Glenorchy mark. No play on the call. They're wrestling for it. And we'll see a ball up. Around about 35 metres out from Glenorchy's goal. The Magpies into attack.
In this quarter we've seen one major change pulled by the Glenorchy side, and that is that Curley is on the ball from his defensive position, which he'd held most of the game. This is Ling stealing it from the pack, up in towards goal, and that is through. A great opening to the second half from the Glenorchy side. That kick from Danny Ling has levelled the scores.
Well, it's anybody's game now. Scores are level, 5-7 apiece.
It's Ling's third goal. He came in with one in the second quarter. That also is at a vital moment. 5 minutes now gone into the third quarter. There's the bounce. Big Rick Shaw wins it, knocked further forward by Lamont. It's bouncing across the half-forward line, but straight to Hibbard. He goes wide towards that Ryde Street wing. I feel that they'll have to... No, it's been kept in. And well done, too, by Clark, although he's lost his chance to go forward now. That's Collis fighting for it. Noy, but the whistle has sounded. A free for Collis. With a penalty, I feel. Yes. So Collis now with a chance to run right up over the centre. He drives towards centre half forward. There's a big leap and a great mark taken there by Billy Dunn, the player who started on the interchange bench.
Carpenter was up there on his own too.
Yes, the chance to quickly go forward has been missed. But Billy Dunn, I would think, is within scoring range. He's straight in front of goal, 35 to 40 metres out. Came onto the ground to replace Gary Davidson in the second quarter. There's Dunn's kick now. It looks to have the distance, only just though. It is through. Great goal, Billy Dunn, and that puts the Magpies in front, and they love that. 6-7, 43. Clarence 5-7, 37. Clarence, in fact, have only kicked one goal since quarter time.
Yes, Clarence really stopped after that quarter-time onslaught. Couldn't get their game going in the second quarter. It's Glenorchy first to get going in this third quarter now. They've kicked 2 goals, and they've held Clarence scoreless. Now, can the Roos bounce back? Chris Rewalt and Rick Shaw. Rewalt wins it. Linton kicks it off the ground. Scrambly, the pack forming. And umpire Badenack elects to ball it up. He'll throw it up. Rewalt gets it out. Nick Clark hasn't had a good day. Mulcahy gave it straight to Webster. Michael Webster laying it over the ball. The whistle's gone, and we'll see another bounce. Dutton down at full forward for the Roos. That's Adams pushing it further on, but it's straight out to Webster. They haven't got players hanging on the outside of that pack. Noy! He's been one of Clarence's better players. He's tried hard all day. There's Noy down to Adams. Adams has got it. Adams, Dutton calling for it quickly. Wants it down there as soon as he can. So is Rewalt down there. There's Adams. Goes right up to the man on his mark and kicks. Down to centre half forward. Dutton up. No mark. Brace. And Nick Clark wrestling for the ball. And umpire Mustin says, I'll have it. And he throws it up. Down it comes. Rick Shaw gets a relieving kick in. And it'll be Chris Rewalt will mark. Well shepherded there, too, by Nick Free. Chris Rewalt drives it back down in towards Dutton. Punched away from Dutton by Robbie Dykes. Coming through was Goss, but Clark takes the ball away from him, and it's out over the line for another throw-in. Runner out there talking to Brendan Smith. The ball's thrown in. Down it comes in front of the pack. Nick Clark couldn't take it away. They throwing themselves into it bodily now. Gary Linton shoots the hand pass out to Tony Treffett, just wide. Leary goes through. Leary picks it up, it slips, gives it out to Mulcahy. He's in trouble. Yes, the kick was smothered off the boot. Here's the chance for Leary again. He's desperately trying to get the Roos forward. Now Danny Ling can run. Ling grabbed just as he got a short kick in. Up to Carpenter. Hibbard was grabbed. Now Hibbard will clear. This is desperate stuff. Down to Leary, and Leary marks as Treffett goes into his back. And that'll hot up tempers a little. Now Leary picking himself up. He's tough, but he's feeling every bit of that bump. Leary kicks down, shortest and a half forward. They fly. Oh, and the Glenorchy player grabbed them and not in possession, and that's Michael Bowden.
Bowden will take his free from the true centre-half back position. Drives up towards the wing. Big Rick Shaw is the target. He couldn't complete the mark, though. The pressure came from Noel Leary, who's throwing himself in this third quarter. Yeah, ball up on right on the wing position.
Leary is giving it his all this quarter.
Yes, as we've said, this could be his last senior match. There's the ball up. Over the back was Rewalt. Down to Mulcahy. He took a long time. Got his handball in, though. A chance for the running player in Lewis. A short kick. That's Lewis. Got the handball towards Mannion. Mannion's gathered it. Another handball over the top. Setting up Clark over. Clark left the ball behind. Not having a good day today. There's the hurried kick from Ling. It doesn't cover a lot of distance. Oh, big leaper there was Suckling. He couldn't control it. They're fighting for it again on ground level. The umpire's letting it go there for just a moment. But now, deciding that a ball up is the only way to sort it out. Just approaching the 10-minute mark of this third term. Glenorchy still 1 goal clear after snatching the lead in the early stages of this quarter. There's Lewis. A high kick over the half-forward line. Dutton is the target. He was outpointed on that occasion, but Adams off hands. Drives deep in towards the pocket, looking for Rewalt. He was being impeded there. A fight for it in that pocket area. This is a chance for Grace. He could only dribble the ball, though, along the ground and over the line.
Gee, who's going to crack in this third quarter?
There's plenty of pressure. There's the ball in. Dutton from in front, putting it down. Mannion, a high handball. This is Neville, around. Got around Wallace very nicely. A kick smothered, though. Dutton couldn't control it. Another chance for Mannion, but he's beaten to it there by Grace, and the clearing kick has come from Webster. Bouncing its way out towards the outer side. That's Ware, and stolen now by Noy. Noy is looking at goal as he puts his kick on its way. That one might just have it. No. Just off line, Russell Noy. He's been a great performer too today. His first score, 1 behind only. Glenn Goss will do the kicking out after opening the game in the ruck. Right up towards the half-back position. He's elected to go straight down the ground. Linton off hands has stolen that. Doesn't know where to go, but eventually finds Bowden. Bowden with a high, long handball over to Treffett. Treffett uses some pace. A chip pass towards the wing, but it's well up line, out on the full. Right into an area of the crowd here full of Clarence supporters, and they loved it. This is free. Up towards the left half forward. Adams was the target. He could only knock it down, though, to Lewis. Lewis's hurried kick up towards the half forward area. No one could mark that either. Trying to come through there was Rogers. He's still desperately fighting for it. Coming away from the pack. Well done, Rogers. Centres the ball across the half-forward line. They'll have to race for it. This is Noy again. Can he break clear? Almost grabbed by Collis. The kick is bouncing up towards full-forward. Will it set for Smith? Yes, it has, and he's popped that onto the boot. And that's a long-awaited goal on the board for Clarence, and they now are 1 point clear. 6-8-44. Glenorchy 6-7-43. Clarence's second goal since the first quarter.
That's the desperation that Clarence have got to show. They scratched their way towards that goal. It wasn't easy, it wasn't pretty, but they got the goal, and their supporters starting to come to life again. It looked like Glenorchy could have been starting to get away from them. But Clarence had the lead back. From the bounce, Shaw wins it. Missed his teammate there in Wallace. Up towards Farquhar. Whistle had gone. And the free kick going to Carpenter upfield. That was for something that happened downfield. Carpenter not sure where to go. Up in towards full forward. It's pushed further on. That's Noel Leary, got an awkward bounce, but got it over to Farquhar. He's in trouble. Tried to get it over here, back to Leary. They're wrestling for it now as it goes out to Eaton and out over the boundary line for a throw-in. Waiting now for the ball to come back into play. Scotty Lamont there in the hands of trainers. That was the free kick, the reason it going up to Carpenter.
He's copped another knock on the nose, Peter, after breaking his nose last week.
That's right. Here's Mannion and Curley. Free. Slips. Needs to stay on his feet. Hibbert will. Hibbert gets it out towards the boundary line and it's over for a throw-in. Well, the crowd have been given everything here today. Shaw and Chris Rewalt. Shaw wins it. Can Glenorchy take advantage of it? It's out towards Hibbert again, it looks like. No, it's Tyson. Tyson up on his feet. Now kicks, but the kick smothered off the boot. Look at them go in. Plenty of weight being used. Free. Grab. Holding the ball against Nick Free. Over the shoulder. Yes, no, it's going to Nick Free. It was, no, it's going, which way is it going? No, to Nick Free. We're right now. Nick Free down on towards the wing position. Adams. Scotty Adams. High onto the half-forward line, and the mark taken down there by Mannion. Good mark too. Brett Mannion shoots the hand pass over here to the running Ware. Michael Ware now will drive right down in towards goal. They fly, Dutton up. Out in front it comes. Goss still going through. That's Rewalt. Peter Rewalt getting boot to ball, but straight into the pack. Grace clearing it, and the mark taken by Adams. Adams between centre and centre half forward, runs round, kicks, screws it back in towards full forward. Dutton up. Grace again. G's playing well. It's scooped out now. Ooh, there's kicking in danger. Bad luck probably for Wallace. I don't think he saw Nick Clark coming through. Tried to soccer it off the ground, but Clark was there and prepared to throw his body into the ball and came out with a free kick. Well, Nick Clark has been down on his game today. A goal here would be very, very handy. Nick Clark probably enjoys the running shot for goal more than the set shot. He's a good 45 metres out. Clark kicks. The goal umpire's gone right across. That is offline. And it brings up another behind. Well, from that distance, Nick Clark running would have probably put it through. But it's Clarence doing the attacking in this third quarter. Now, the ball's put back into play by Goss, it looks like. And no mark to Rick Shaw. They're wrestling for it. And we'll see a ball up between the wing and half-forward line. Clarence into attack.
15 minutes gone in this second term. And so far in this quarter, we've seen Glenorchy, third term I should have said, Glenorchy have added 2 goals, Clarence only the 1, and that came from Brendan Smith. Another stalemate, another ball up. There's the knockdown. Trying to come away is Linton. He was impeded very quickly, pushed away from the pack for Rogers. He couldn't carry it away. It's Mannion who's trying, and is he going to get the free?
Davidson back on the ground.
And he's the one to take that free. Gary Davidson running in defence, an unusual role for him in this season so far. We've seen him play just about every game on the forward line. This is Bowden running around the centre of the ground. Drives up towards half forward now. The lead was on down there, but the target there for Bowden was outnumbered 2-1. A blind handball. They'll chase it across the half-forward line. A chance for Neville if he can control it. Oh, Marsh has done well. Now he's lost the chance, though. Neville still scrambling. Another ball up.
Well, you do make mistakes under pressure, and a lot of pressure being applied out there at the moment. The ball thrown up. Shaw and Rewalt. Shaw gets it down. Player grabbed too high there. And coming out with a free kick for Clarence is Greg Farquhar. Farquhar down onto the wing. Linton and Mannion. Linton with a penalty. 15-metre penalty. So Gary Linton, the kick up to Carpenter. Carpenter kept out of it. Noy has it taken off him by Danny Ling. Coming back again. Billy Dunn now in after Noy. Noy goes down to the ground, still fighting for it. Whistle's gone, and Clarence coming out with a free kick. Russell Noy, he deserved that. He had the ball, lost it, had it, lost it again, then came out with a free kick. There's the kick from Noy. No mark. Mulcahy. Oh, Collis takes it away from him easily. That's Farquhar getting it out. Now to Ware. Ware will drive it down onto the wing position. And the mark accepted down there by him, given over to Adams. Adams is running. He's had a bounce. That's dangerous. Should have shot the hand pass over there. And it's through for a behind. Well, he could have got the hand pass over there. There was a player clear in Dutton, but he elected to kick as Goss now puts the ball back into play. Chris Rewalt marks. Good mark, Chris Rewalt. Stood his ground. Rich Shaw in just a little late. Rewalt. There's the lead offering from Dutton. It's punched away though. The hand pass shot out. Marsh lost it. In after it again, scoops it off the ground. Triffett holding on to Lewis. Lewis couldn't get a kick in. Triffett comes out with it, drops it. He's bowled over. Tackling solidly, and Glenorchy coming out with a free kick. Clarence supporters not happy with that decision, but the umpire right on hand there as the ball's put up onto the wing position. Here's a chance for Glenorchy if they can run it out. Yes, Linton to Curley. He missed it. Rogers going in, free kick. Push. And the free kick going to Danny Lynn. We don't give away a penalty there. There's Carpenter. Now the backman not coming up, Clarence. That's a goal. Well shepherded it through there by Billy Dunn. And Carpenter has goal. Well, he could share that and thank Billy Dunn for that, because Dunn shepherded there when the ball was within range. The goal will go down to Chris Carpenter, but I think with a little help from Billy Dunn. And Glenorchy back in the lead by 3 points.
Yes, it isn't Billy Dunn having a big influence on this third quarter. He kicked a goal himself, and that came after a good mark. Back in the centre now. A big fist away, a chance to put Clarence into attack. It's bouncing across the half-forward flank. Mannion's trying to control it. He's being hotly pressed there by Triffett.
And has the free kick.
He does indeed. Triffett infringing on that occasion. Mannion from right half-forward. Behind, has that one been paid to
Robbie Dykes?
Yes, it has. Robbie Dykes, and not to Dutton, who looks very upset about the whole thing. Robbie Dykes from the true centre half-back position now. Had a great game of defence. Up towards the centre. Hibbard, not paid. Not further forward to Lewis. A hurried kick. Doesn't cover a lot of distance. It's gone wide towards the flank. A chance there for Linton. He's kept it in play. A high kick also doesn't cover much distance. But there's a strong mark. That is Farquhar. Been quiet since the first quarter. He goes short. The lead was on into the pocket, but he's almost kicked that straight to Grace, although Grace couldn't control it. Oh, Goss pops one high. Down he goes. And that will send a few tempers over the top, I feel. Players milling around the area now, but Goss not to take the free. In fact, it'll be Collis from deep in the back pocket. Oh, he's tossed it over to Glenn Goss now. Goss playing at full back now that Curley is having a run on the ball. Up towards the half-back line with that kick. Carpenter couldn't control it there in the middle of that pack. Neither could Rick Shaw. A ball in, wing position. 21 minutes gone in the third quarter. 3 points in it. Glenorchy still leading. Into the centre now. Lamont has the run of it. Gets the handball over to Triffett. Triffett got his kick in before being pushed out of it. There's the kick up towards the forward area. A chance for Tyson now. He'll get his kick, a clearing kick in. Hugs the boundary line. They'll contest this one on the wing position. Now, the umpire's going to have to sort out who had... yes.
Man in front.
Dutton had the best bite of that one. On quickly now to Rogers. Rogers provides some run, drives up towards centre half forward. Playing in from the side of the pack there was Rewalt, and staying down and doing it nicely was Dykes. This is Triffett's handball now up into the centre. A chance to run forward. Glenorchy, this kick should send them deep into attack. It's going to go right up to the full forward area, but there's no one home. Tyson. A handball over the top to Free. Free goes short, very ineffectively, and straight to Dunn. Dunn gets the handball over to Curley. Curley gets another handball further on to Davidson. Davidson over to Carpenter. Carpenter looks at the goals. He has a shot, and Clarence defenders making a very rare mistake there. They could have run that one out of defence. They've missed the opportunity. Carpenter is goal. 6:10:46 now. Clarence. Glenorchy 8:7:55.
And it looks like none off for Glenorchy. Wallace back on. And that's a pretty handy lead to Glenorchy. It seems as though the Argyle Street end, the end Glenorchy are kicking to, could be the scoring end. The ball back to the centre bounce. Shaw wins it. Can Clarence wall? They're going to have to get rid of it. A little slow as Shaw picks it up again. Shoots it over to Marsh. Shaw in there battling for it. Clarence throwing themselves on it. Marsh tried to kick it off the ground. Mulcahy, no one to give it to. Scoops it out now. There's a loose kick out to Wallace. He takes the mark. He'll go straight on with play. Wallace kicks up in towards full forward. And the mark taken in defence by Nick Free. Cool as you like, Nick Free. Kicks. And no, the mark not taken. Rogers, but will get the free kick. Chris Rogers shoots the hand pass over as Hibbard was running. Hibbard is through. Gives another hand pass over here. Now a chance for going through is Neville. That's Timmy Neville. Down in towards full forward. Adams flying one-handed. Out to Chris Rewald. Rewald over here to Mannion. Mannion running into an open goal. Fires away and misses. Put it through. Well, the goal umpire fooled us all then. The way he was laid to signal that, I thought that Brett Mannion had missed. But he'd put it through and the crowd pretty quiet down that end too. So the difference now back to 3 points in favour of Glenorchy. We've played 24 minutes. And this is going to be a great game right to the last minute. Back to the centre bounce. Shaw and Dutton. Dutton wins it. Nick Clark, grabbed by Linton. Clark still fighting for it, gives it over to Lewis. Lewis on the right foot, down to Chris Rewald. He'll mark. Chris Rewald shoots it over here to the running Rogers. Chris Rogers fires away into one goal. The Roos are back in the lead. Wow, what a game. Chris Rogers goaling for Clarence and putting them back in the lead.
Yes, and the running players is now starting to figure much more prominently in Clarence's game in this third quarter. They're starting to get it all happening. In this quarter, in fact, we've seen Glenorchy kick 4 goals. Clarence have kicked 3. And we're just about to enter time on. Rick Shaw ready to do battle against Dutton. He favours Dutton and he wastes no time in getting a huge fist onto it, but Mulcahy's left it behind, trying to recover now, being pulled off the ball. The whistle has sounded. The ball up, still very close to the centre. Clarence 3 points up, hoping to hold on to that lead going into the three-quarter time break. This is Linton breaking away from the pack. And not an effective kick. A chance now for Bowden if he can control it. He's being hotly pressed, grabbed by 2 players and grabbed high. Bowden's kick now towards the wing position. Lewis might have this one. Oh, but coming in from the side was Curley, doing it nicely. Over to Triffett. Triffitt's got the handball working as well. This is Suckling. Suckling drives up towards full forward. There's a lot of pushing and shoving going on there as well. The ball has been knocked away from the pack though. And we'll see it come into play, forward pocket for Glenorchy. Gary Davidson back on the ground now. Dutton from behind gets it down. That's Marsh trying to come away. He's lost a chance now. They're piling up on top of Rogers there with the ball. Another ball up will result. 26 minutes gone in the third quarter. 3 points the difference.
Mulcahy off for the Roos, and coming on is Neville. That's Alan Neville.
His first time on the field. There's the hurried snap away from the pack by Ling. No mark taken there at full forward, though Dunn gave it his best shot. That's Hibbard trying to get it away from the pack. Clark as well appealing for a free. It won't be on. A bounce, very close to goal. In fact, we're about 12 or 30 metres out from Glenorchy's goal. They're trying to get the lead back before three-quarter time. This is Davidson stealing the ball off hands, but he's just offline with that hurried snapshot and doing plenty of talking, trying to keep the morale up there in that forward line.
Yes, he did shark that ball well, Davidson, but unfortunately for Glenorchy, just offline. And so that's a 2-point lead now to Clarence coming up to three-quarter time as Nick Free will kick out, plays on. Now kicks down onto the half-back line. They fly, and Chris Rewalt takes the mark. They've got to come good, these big fellows. Chris Rewalt. It's the short one, and that should come off, yes. It finds the running Brett Mannion. Brett Mannion now drives it down. Timmy Neville trying to drop back on it, but oh, Grace. Amazing Grace coming through the centre. Look at him run. He's still running as he kicks up in towards centre half forward. They fly. Woof. Someone went through solidly there. Carpenter off the ground, but there's the reliable Noel Leary in the last line of defence to save the Roos once again. Leary, knowing three-quarter time's not far away. Drives. Oh, it's all Glenorchy there. Linton plays on. Kicks up onto the half-back line, and the mark taken in defence by Dutton. He's caught. Gives it over here. Now they're just out of trouble as it's run out now through the centre. Down on towards the wing. Neville up high. Curley has the run of the ball. Will it bounce for him? Tries to hit it back over to Triffett, but it finds the boundary line for a throw-in. And we've played 28 and a half minutes. There's the siren. It's three-quarter time, and there's 2 points in it. At three-quarter time, Clarence 8-10-58, lead Glenorchy 8-8-56. Welcome to grand final day at North Hobart, the start of the last quarter between Clarence and Glenorchy. Clarence leading by 2 points. They've led at every change. Mel Arnold, do you feel they'll be in front? The final siren.
Well, that's the $64 million question, Peter, is whether they're going to hang on. Glenorchy have come back after a very, very poor start. Clarence perhaps have the advantage of a very minimal breeze if it is at all blowing to the grandstand end. But I just have the feeling that Glenorchy are finishing a little stronger. The ground is a lot drier at that end that they're going to, and I think they'll find goals easy to kick there.
Yes, the domain end has been the scoring end as far as goals go. This is the start of the last quarter. It's been a great grand final in the Winfield League. Anybody's game. Shaw wins the first hit out. Clarence trying to push it forward. The whistle's gone, and the free kick coming out going to Clarence. So they'll get first use of the ball as Ware drives it up towards full forward. It's a Clarence mark. Yes, the big fella Rewalt, Peter Rewalt, pulling it down. He was in front of the pack. Had a little help there from Adams. Between the two of them, they brought it down. Well, a goal here. First goal is going to make a big difference. It'll give Clarence the lead by 8 points as Peter Rewalt kicks. That won't make the distance, and the Clarence defence up there, the Glenorchy defence up there to push that ball, steer it through over the line for a throw-in. From the throw-in, Rewalt grabs it, can't get his kick in though, no chance there. That's Collis on the bottom of that pack, number 14. As umpire Badenack moves in and elects to ball it up. He'll throw it up there in that fairly muddy goal square. Rewalt grabs it again, but grabbed in turn, couldn't get his kick in. Very scrambly there, Neville. It's out to Clark. The kick was smothered off the boot and forced out over the line for another throw-in. So Clarence with the ball in attack, but it's pretty scrambly. It'll be hard to goal from there. They'll have to open it up a bit. That was Lewis, couldn't take it. With the ball there. And coming up off the bottom of that pack is Suckling. And again, the ball to be thrown up. They fly. Down it comes nearly a free kick to Curley. He didn't clock, but he's got the free kick. Roland Curley. Now we'll see play opened up at least. There's the kick from Curley. Davidson. Shaw in front and marks. Robert Shaw gives it over here to Marsh. Free kick to Marsh. Not a bad free kick to give away though, because it stopped the play on, the run on of Glenorchy. There's Marsh. He shoots it over here to Rick Shaw. Shaw through the centre. Drives it down in towards centre half forward. They fly. Hibbert was in front. Neville just gets his kick in out to where Lewis is running. And Suckling. Lewis gets a kick in up on towards right. Now Wright with the opportunity. He kicks it up on towards the flank. Adams looking for the free kick. It won't be paid. There's the hand pass shot out from Webster to Dykes. Dykes drives it out of trouble, down on towards the wing. Waiting for it there was Wallace. Here's a bit of a wrestle going on as Lewis finally drives it up, in towards centre half forward. Oh, Glenorchy missed the mark. Player grab, coming out with it is Marsh. Marsh will drive the Magpies forward, down looking for Carpenter. Will the ball bounce for him? He's met pretty solidly. He leaves it for Suckling. Suckling is around. Kicks now in towards centre half forward. Leary has 2 to beat. and Leary has the free kick.
Leary played a great game in defence today. He's been rock solid, taking this kick in the centre half-back position. He drives right up towards the centre. Big Rewalt was the target there. He elected to punch the ball over his head, though. It gives a chance to Neville. Neville on to Rogers. Rogers bursting his way through, got the handball on. Mannion now has found his teammate there in Wright, although Wright took too long. Dispossessed. A chance for Webster. Webster drives towards the flank. They'll have to race for it now. It looks like Bowden might get on the scene first. Only just. He was being hotly pressed there by Free. This is Noy coming away with it. A high handball. Another chance now as Clarence go forward, deep into the pocket. This is Ware. Hasn't kicked a goal since the second quarter.
Should have been nearly a free kick against Ware there. He propped for the free kick and was prepared to tuck the ball under him.
There'll be a ball up deep in that forward pocket. Shaw down to Mannion, though, and trying to come away is Collis. Along the ground, the ball rolls. A chance for Wallace. A hurried kick. Doesn't cover a lot of distance. It went straight to Rogers anyway. Rogers kick straight back into that pocket, but Linton is there. Been taking some solid marks around the ground, Gary Linton. Once Adams moved back out of his way. There's the short pass. Still keeping the ball very deep in the pocket. This is Wallace. Wallace drives up towards the wing now. He saw a lead from Carpenter. Carpenter has two to beat, though. And down behind the pack, a chance for Farquhar. He's gathered it. Took a long time, but got a handball in. An accurate one, too. Noy on to Dutton. Dutton drives into that pocket, but not accurately. And it's out on the full. In fact, a chance for Wallace again from where he took a kick only just a moment ago. This time, it's Free. Down from his defensive position. Looks to be having a run across the half-forward line as he drives up towards full forward now. It's a one-out duel. It was Rewalt in front, had it punched away from him. Another chance for Rewalt. If he can control this, he's being very hotly pursued there by Goss. Still messing about. That's Wallace on top of it. Dykes trying to come away from the rear of the pack. The umpire had whistled play up. A ball up only 15 to 20 metres away from goal. Clarence's goal, that is. There's a big fist up towards goal now from Rewalt, but it crosses the line, one behind only.
They're prepared to do it in points at the moment, Clarence, as Dykes will put this ball back into play. There's the kick onto the half-back line. Curley the target. Can't mark. Neville and Curley. Curley throwing himself on top of the ball. He won't let it out. And it will see a ball up. Nick Clark coming up there. Rolling Curley. Neither side shown any signs of cracking yet as Rewalt trying to get it down. Robbie Dykes couldn't control the ball around the boundary line. And again, it's out for a throw-in. 3 points in it. Great grand final. Rewalt up, gets it down. That's Robbie Dykes with it. Awkward looking kick, but he makes ground with it. Now the chance for Clarence as a free comes through. There's the short one, and the mark's taken there by Mannion. Brett Mannion kicked one goal in the third quarter and is going to fire now from a good 45 metres out. To take a long kick to make it. He's got Chris Rewalt up in the goal square, along with Peter Rewalt. As Brett Mannion moves in, gives that plenty of air. It's drifting in towards the pocket. They set themselves, no mark, and it's forced through for another behind. So Glenorchy doing it through behinds at the moment, as it looks like eaten off the ground. Tony Triffett back on for the Magpies. And the kick out from Goss. Shaw. Noy nearly took it. Here's the chance now for Rogers. Short one from Rogers to Rewalt, and he takes it. This is Peter Rewalt. Well, Clarence with the opportunities, but they're being forced to shoot from a long way out. Gary Davidson now coming right up ground. There's Rewalt, plenty of advice. It's a short one. It'll come off. The mark taken by Nick Clark. Nick Clark in front of the Kazali stand, and he would be 25 to 30 metres out. He'll make the distance. The goal would be handy. It would give Clarence a 10-point lead. Nick Clark moves in. All eyes on him. He lines them up. He's made no mistake. And Clarence reap away to a 10-point lead. And the Clarence supporters going wild at the moment. It's 9-12, 66. to 88-56.
Nick Clark has picked the perfect time to chip in with his first goal for the match, given the job today as captain of the Clarence side in the absence of captain coach Robbie Shaw, missing today's game through suspension. And up in that Kazanley stand, that's where the real Clarence stronghold is, and there's plenty of noise coming from there right now as the Roos are 10 points in front. Dutton wins it. Rogers couldn't come away, but Ware could. Ware's kick drifting across to the pocket. Players rushing out to meet it. No one could mark. Collard taken down by Clark. This is Noy.
Free kick to Noy.
He'll have a free, and he's probably within scoring range, I would think. Noy has only got one behind his credit so far. He's lining up now from about 50 metres out. Oh, it's a shocking kick right off the side of the boot. It's going to fall in the pocket, almost into the arms of Rewalt. Taken away by Mannion, though. There's a hurry kick smothered. Suckling pushing it out for Webster. Webster will try and run out of defence. He gets his kick in. It's up towards the wing position, but it's all Clarence there. That's Farquhar with strength. On quickly to Ware. Ware, another handball across. That's Lewis. Lewis drives deep into the pocket again. A big pack. The mark is a Glenorchy one to Dykes. On quickly to Linton. Linton will run it out of defence again. This one sailing up to that Ryde Street wing again. Dutton, though. A great mark. Robbie Dutton playing a fantastic game. So Dutton from the wing position up towards the half forward. In the middle of that pack. On the second grab, the mark has gone to Rewalt. Peter Rewalt kicked a goal in the first quarter that really lifted his side. Hasn't kicked one since then, but if he can pop this, well, that'll put his side 16 points in front. It'll be one of the biggest margins we've seen all day. And 8 minutes into the last quarter, it's a good time to be creeping away. There's the kick from Rewalt. Oh, it's a shocker. Off the side of the boot. Out of bounds.
Just touched over too. Neville making sure of that. So the ball to be thrown in right beside the behind post. Glenorchy have got to settle down a bit now. Get back into this. Here's a chance. It's a goal coming up to Neville. And we find that Alan Neville has posted Clarence's 10th goal, and they're creeping away. Is this lead going to be big enough? The Roos, they're confident, their tails are up. They can sense victory, and Glenorchy have got to scratch their way back into it.
10-12 plays 8-8. Clarence went very quiet after quarter time. They only kicked one goal in the second quarter and then managed 3 in the third. Now they're finishing off in great style. Back in the centre. Rickshaw and Dutton again. Coming away, though, is Wright. Dispossessed. Free with a chance. On hands and knees. Another ball up will be the result. In fact, Clarence have led after every change. At quarter time, they were 18 points up. 4-3 to 1-3. At half time, 7 points up. 5-7 to 4-6. And at three-quarter time, just 2 points up. 8-10 to 8-8. There's the hurry kick across the half-forward line. Leary left it behind. Farquhar hands it across to Tyson. Tyson handballs into open space, recovers it himself. Players are piling up on him. Triffett wants a free. It's not on. There'll be a bounce. Forward pocket for Glenorchy. They're trailing. The umpire elects to throw it up. In fact, Carpenter weighted down, but knocked it straight to Farquhar. There's Hibbard. Hibbard's kick up towards the Ryde Street wing, but Linton is there. A safe pair of hands. Wants to go on with it. Was he off? Now he is anyway. Running into the centre of the ground. The left foot kick up towards centre half forward. Looking for Carpenter. Couldn't get two hands onto that. Not further forward by Marsh, but straight to Leary. Leary holding up well across that half-back line. He's absolutely solid in defence. On the wing now. Mannion gathered it in. Over to Clark. Clark goes short across the half-forward line. Too short, in fact, for Adams, but he got the handball onto Ware. Ware gets another handball forward, but straight to Linton. Linton's kick, a clearing one towards the flank, and that's a safe one straight to Bowden.
Bowden now, he'll want to run, and he does. He goes back inside, into the centre, looking for Ling. Oh, he's too small, Danny Ling, to try and pull that off. Not a good move there, and it's Wright coming out with it. Wright driving it up in towards Rewalt. Here's Mannion with it. Mannion in towards an open goal, but it's offline and brings up another behind. So all scores important at the moment. As Chris Carpenter now back at full-back to kick out. And Clarence supporters going wild. Clarence, they're yelling. We've hit the 11-minute mark in the last quarter. Carpenter. Chris Rewalt in front. Marks. In front of Robbie Dykes. And they're starting to hit their straps, the big Clarence fellows now. As Chris Rewalt, the sun shining, drives it up in towards the forward zone. They set themselves, no mark. Down in front of the pack, they're wrestling for it. Alan Neville in there again. Comes up with the ball. And we're going to see a baller. Glenorchy haven't scored this quarter, whereas Clarence have kicked 2 goals 3. There's Carpenter with the kick, flanks it, and Robbie Dykes will take the mark. Dykes, half-back flank, outer side, down looking for Wallace, and he marks. Peter Wallace, Scotty Lamont on the wing, drives it down, pushed down by Nick Free, diving on it is Farquhar, no one to give it to, holding the ball, laying it over it, and now Peter Wallace comes out with a free kick. Wallace, round the half-forward line. There's the kick. Goss dropping back on it, Tony Treffett, and Tony Treffett has taken the mark. Well, Glenorchy needing a goal now. It's Tony Treffett with the opportunity of bringing up goal number 9, and it'll be their first score of the quarter. 13 and a half minutes in. They're back in it if he can score a goal. Tony Treffett kicks. It won't come round far enough. It's through for a behind. It's their first score, but only a behind. And off the boot of Tony Treffett. And the ball going back to Nick Free. There's the short one from Free. And that'll come off because the mark's taken out there by Dutton. Been a great player, Robbie Dutton. Dutton bangs it up on towards the wing. Hibbard. Lewis breaks the tackle. Lewis up in towards the centre. Oof, going down on it is Rogers. Back he comes. Well played, Rogers. They're desperate to lose as Rogers drives it up onto the half-forward line. And a strong mark taken up there by Mannion. Mannion straight on with play. Not well placed though, but it might have to go back. Ooh, and Mannion with his hands up over his head saying, thank goodness. Very, very lucky to get away with that. So a let off to the Roos. Not that the blokes have gone their way today. Up in towards full forward. Carpenter. Neville in trouble. Grabbed and well tackled, but it'll be a baller. Marsh dwelling on Neville there. From the ball being thrown up. Adams, it looks to be dribbling it in towards goal. It's another one on the board. Well, they're looking good now, the Roos, with Adams. He sharked that extremely well. He did one earlier in the game. And Adams, look at Rewalt. They're excited. They can spell victory now, the Roos. And they're on their way to taking out the 1984 flag, and their supporters, they're ecstatic in that Kazali stand.
Yes, the wheels literally fallen off the Glenorchy machine. And they've tried all sorts of moves. Carpenter's at full-back, Triffitt's playing across the forward line, but none of it seems to be working as Clarence are continually into attack. There's the hurry kick forward from Neville, sailing up over the half-forward line. Adams being pushed out of it on that occasion, but he looks to be the first one to recover. The whistle had sounded as Adams is put down, and he'll have a free. The offending player there is Webster.
Yes, they're becoming a little frustrated now, Glenorchy, with things going against them.
The whistle had sounded only a few seconds before that, and I think it would have been for a Glenorchy free. So they've missed a vital chance. There's a penalty being applied. Adams moves up. His kick is drifting right across the teeth of goal. Oh, no mark, but running away from the back of the pack there is Linton. He drives up towards the half-back line. Lamont can't control it.
Yeah, he should have been a free to Scotty Lamont. He's got it now.
He's got the free, yes. So Lamont from the half-back line goes across to the other flank, looking there for Curley. He was caught behind the pack, though. A chance for Goss, shows some pace, gets a hurry kick in towards the wing position. Triffitt got up high, but couldn't get two hands onto it, couldn't get any hands onto it for that matter, and a chance for Clarence to go deep into attack. There's the ball sent across the half-forward line. Dutton is there, but he couldn't mark. Goss off hands, has come away with it to Ling. Ling's short kick looking for Eaton there. But the handball has come back to Ling now. Ling across to a teammate, and the chance now being set up for Curley. Curley is running down the left half forward, taking a long run too as he drives up towards full forward. Will this one bounce the right way? It hasn't. It's another behind, and in fact, Glenorchy's second point for this quarter. That's all they've scored as they move on to 8-10. Here's the kick out now from full-back towards the outer side. Lots of big players there, but the mark went to one of the smaller ones, and that's Lewis showing some pace, drives up towards the centre. Players rushing to meet it, no mark taken. They'll have to fight for it right in the middle of the ground there. That's Grace, played a very, very honest game at the back pocket. He drives up towards half forward. No mark taken again, but Davidson gave it his best shot. A chance for Dunn. He's picked up the ball, sent it on its way up towards full forward. A desperate dive there, though, from Neville, and he'll get the clearing kick away. Deep into the back pocket to Rewalt. Chris Rewalt played a good game. He drives up towards the right street wing. There's another mark, Neville. Alan Neville played a good game since coming on from the bench. Perhaps he was being saved for this final quarter burst. He's chipped in with a goal already in this quarter. He drives now up towards centre half forward. Webster, no mark paid, or has it been paid? Webster, oh, shocking kick. It gave the chance there to Neville. He couldn't control it. This is breaking up towards goal is right, sending the ball right up to the square, but Carpenter fell back on it, and he'll get the clearing kick away.
Yes, no one there for the Roos, but here's a chance as Ware dropped back in, gives it over here to Rogers. Rogers a short one, another goal coming up for the Roos as Adams marks. And they've gone wild, the Clarence supporters. Well, if they kick this, it's good night. And Adams already kicked two, one in the first quarter, one in the last. And I'd say that Scott Adams could really sew it up now at the 19-minute mark. He is 20 metres out. As Adams moves in. The kick, it's important. He's kicked it. Scott Adams has posted his third goal. And it looks like Roos and Shaw for 84.
Yes, and that makes Scott Adams the leading goal kicker for the day with 3 goals. It's been a low-scoring game.
Well, ball going up there so often now in this last quarter, but the goals have got to come. And have a look into the Kazali stand there. That's a portion of the Clarence crowd, and they'll go wild after this. Be a big night on the Eastern Shore tonight. Curley drives Glenorchy forward, down onto the half-forward line. Off the hands of the pack it comes. Dropping back on it was Hibbert. Gets it out now. Short kick in. And he was dumped after he kicked it. And so the free kick going Clarence's way. Lewis, Hibbert picks himself up. Lewis now drives up onto the wing. Curley marks. He's tried hard. Curley from the wing outer side, down onto the half-forward line. Billy Dunn up, Hibbert up, no mark. As Lewis comes out with it again. Rogers pushes it further on for the Roos. Neville missed it, dives on it now. He's grabbed too high. Against Goss, and this is all paying off for Clarence because it's wasting time. We're up to the 20-minute mark as Neville into Farquhar, and he marks. Greg Farquhar from the centre out onto the half-forward line. Curley up again, couldn't take the ball through with him. That was scooped out to Robbie Dykes. Dykes is through, gets it over here to Suckling. Suckling will get it back to Linton. Linton's kick down onto the wing where Rogers will take the mark. Chris Rogers shoots the hand pass over here to Chris Rewalt. Rewalt's kick up onto the half-forward line. No mark to Webster. There's the kick up in towards full forward again. Peter Rewalt has it. Carpenter closing in on him. As Rewalt slips, the ball goes out over the boundary line. And a throw in to take place in front of the Kazali stand.
21.5 minutes gone in this final quarter. Clarence looked to have it sewn up. This is Mannion getting away from his opponent, doing it nicely. The handball's on. Oh, the kick, though, is smothered. It will give Ling the chance. Ling hasn't given up. He drives across the half-back line looking for Marsh. Marsh couldn't take the mark. He's gone down to ground now, though, and he'll have a free. So it'll be Marsh from centre half-back.
No, he was heading for an open goal, too.
There's Marsh's handball across to Curley. Curley still has plenty of run left in his legs, but some of his teammates look to have stopped completely. There's the kick up towards the wing position. They'll fight for it there. This is Neville coming away, grabbed beautifully by Triffett. tackle was effective. It stopped Neville in his tracks, but there will be a ball up. The applause you can hear is for Noel Leary coming off.
What a great game.
A brilliant game across the half-back line. One of Clarence's best for sure. This is Bowden on the wing position. He's got the handball moving on now to Dykes. Dykes running through the centre, around a couple of opponents onto Collis. Collis has been very quiet since quarter time. He drives up towards full forward. Dunn flew too soon. The mark is Neville's. Neville from the full-back position goes short into the pocket and to Hibberd. They're looking confident. They're looking like a team bracing themselves for a very, very good win. This is Hibberd driving up towards the right street wing. The ball is juggled there, no mark taken. Knocked away from the pack into the path of Lewis, if he can control it. He can, coming away nicely. His kick is a short one, but an accurate pass to Mark Wright. Wright runs towards the centre and drives up over the half-forward line now. Noy! A brilliant mark in front of Webster there, and Noy will have the chance to drive Clarence deep into attack yet again. Noy, one of Clarence's better running players today. No goals to his credit. He's missed one. This one might be a little bit too far out. He gives it his best shot, though. It's going to fall just at the edge of the square. No mark taken. Mulcahy off hands. Has a snapshot. It's well offline, though. Out on the full.
LaRue's finishing all over Glenorchy. The ball goes back. Now, Carpenter. Carpenter drives down onto the flanks. And the mark taken down there by Lewis as he played a great game. Teaches at the Corpus Christi School, and there'll be some pretty excited kids from that school. As Lewis drives it up in towards full forward. The mark taken. And it's a Clarence mark to Chris Rewalt. Chris Rewalt. And they cannot do a thing wrong at the moment, the Roos. And it's going to be a pretty big win for them. Chris Rewalt, can he goal from 20 metres out? The Clarence chant goes up again from the crowd, and Chris Rewalt lining him up for goal number 13. Kicks. He's kicked it. Yes, it's all over. Clarence will be premiers for 1984. Chris Rewalt kicking his second goal of the match. And we're coming up now to the 25-minute mark in this final quarter. And it's going to be a pretty happy Clarence team out there. The presentation will be made immediately after the game. Waiting now for the bounce. And there's Glenorchy supporters already leaving the ground. They realise it's all over for season 84. And it won't be premierships back-to-back. That's Rickshaw. And we're right on the 25-minute mark. So only time on to play. Clarence have kicked 5 goals this quarter. Glenorchy have not goaled. In fact, Glenorchy have kicked 2 behinds. Here's the chance now for Danny Ling. Been well smothered all day. Ling down in towards full forward. They fly. Goss up. Wrestling for it. That's Hibberd trying to get it out of defence. Over it goes. Triffett. Wrestling with his opponent there. The whistle's gone. And it will see another ball up. Umpire Mustin. Throwing it up. Dutton. Missed Clark. That's Goss. Goss screwing it round in towards goal. They set themselves. No mark taken. Off hands it comes. Neville sees it safely through for a behind. So only the third behind of the quarter to Glenorchy. The being kept goalless as Neville puts it onto the half-back line. Chance now for Dutton. He's well grabbed and held by Dykes. Dykes thought it might have been his free kick, but it's not. Dutton and Shaw. Down it comes, where the hand pass is shot out. Lamont. He drives Glenorchy forward, right down in towards full forward. That's Davidson. All yellow crowd, Nick Free. Tony Triffett. Down he goes. Scoops it out. Chance for Goss. Puts one high up into the air. It should be a Glenorchy mark coming up. It is. Well, Little Marsh stood his ground. As soon as he got it dropped, get out of the way of that onslaught. And now Marsh. As the siren goes, it's all over. Clarence won't care about this goal. If Greg Marsh steers it through. And so we'll check the final score with Clarence running out premiers for 1984. And there's Robert Shaw Congratulations must go to Robert Shaw, because he did come under some criticism this year when they went through that losing streak and carrying injuries himself, but he's pulled it off in his first year of coaching. And that final score, Clarence 13-13, 91, Glenorchy 9-11, 65. Well, Mel Arnold, at three-quarter time, it was anybody's game, and I thought Glenorchy might have finished the better of the two.
Well, I thought that too, Peter. Clarence had a 2-point lead at three-quarter time, but full credit to Clarence. They were far the better side. They led at every change all day, and they were the pace setters all day. They were first to the ball, and they finished all over the top of the Glenorchy and ran out very comfortable and deserving winners, 26 points, and that was quite a big margin in the context of the way the game was played, because it had been pretty close to three-quarter time.
Robert Shaw being chaired, not off the ground, they'll stay on the ground, but being chaired up the ground at the moment. Gary Davidson would be a very disappointed man, because they finished well clear on top of the ladder at the end of the roster games. They went into the second semi-final, hot favourites were defeated, came out and won the preliminary final. Robbie Dykes would be another that would be disappointed. He's played in a few losing grand finals.
Three losing grand finals. I think Robbie Dykes participated in Glenorchy colours, so I don't know, poor old Robbie, comes back to Glenorchy and they lose the grand final.